Hi, I'm Diane Dayton. We're at the 34th Annual Boscov Berks Jazz Fest here in Reading, Pennsylvania. And we are backstage at Berks. Yamin.
Yamin.
Yamin. Elliott Yamin.
Yeah.
So glad to have you here.
Honored to be here. Thanks for having me. Thanks for making time.
Yeah, and you've been performing with Special EFX All-Stars.
That's right.
You were saying for about how long now? Is it?
Well, about 10 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about 10 years.
And you got connected with Kelly, right?
I did. We got connected because at the time we were being managed by the same person. Shout out to Nellie Nevin.
Okay, there you go.
Who's been a longtime manager of Kelly. And then her and I started working together around that time when we met. And she'd been talking about Kelly for a bit. And then we just so happened to be... we actually met here, as a matter of fact.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
So full circle, actually. We met for the first time. No, I'm sorry. This is one of the first gigs I had with them.
Okay.
We met, of all places, at the Java Jazz Festival in Jakarta, Indonesia, of all places.
Yeah.
Which is also where I met Lau for the first time.
Okay.
Lau Tizer.
Yeah.
And we've been working together ever since, kind of off and on, whenever the recipe calls for vocals within, within an effects show.
Yeah.
And I'm like a kid in a candy store. It's really cool to work with so many, with just all these great musicians who are respectively at the top of their individual crafts, you know.
Well,
here's little old me that comes along.
Well, you got thrown, out there in the stratosphere from American Idol, right?
That's right, yeah.
What was it season 5?
That's right. Yeah, 2006. I came third. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what was that experience like?
Oh, pick an adjective. It was all of those,
right?
everything. It was the best thing I ever experienced, the best thing I could have ever done for myself.
Mm-hmm.
It was at the, I was made to do it by my best friends back in Richmond before I grew up.
Is that what happened?
They pretty much threatened my life if I didn't go take advantage of this opportunity in front of me.
Okay.
And, because I used to sing at parties and, we do the occasional drunken karaoke, not by choice though, because what my friends would do is, they believed in me more than I did my own self, and that's when you got a good group of, a good support system. And so what they would do is they would sneakily sign me up for karaoke without my knowledge, and all of a sudden, I'm like a few drinks in or a few apps in, and I hear my name, and I was so, I don't know how to put this, I was just painfully shy when it came to singing in front of other strangers and people, so I would literally slip out the back door when I hear my name called. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'd yell at my friends for a second, and then I would just bolt and jump in my car and go home. That's just how painfully shy and how little confidence I had, and it really took going on American Idol to boost my confidence.
Well, that's a major leap.
To overcome that. Yeah. To over, not a recommended step for
those
who
karaoke.
Karaoke, the biggest show in the world.
Yes, hello.
But I tell you, I don't have a sexy answer for how I overcame it. I just knew that this is something I wanted to do as a career and make a living doing it and just make a life out of doing it. And so I knew the only way to get over that hump was to just go for it. And it wasn't without the jitters and without again, I was a nervous wreck every single week, and I made it to the end, obviously. So
who was your coach?
Well, our coaches during the show that were part of the show. One fella's name is Dorian Holly, who's incredible, and then his partner, who was also our pianist, named Michael Orland.
Okay.
Michael O, we called him. and I tell them every chance I get, and they're tired of hearing it, but I couldn't have gotten through that experience without them, because they instilled, again, you know, if you're lucky enough to come across these people who really champion you and who want to see you succeed. I was lucky to have those people along the way, and those two I could not have gotten through, season 5 of Vital without their tutelage and their experience and their confidence in me,
Yeah.
So I learned. Look. People always ask, how did you come to become a singer? How long have you been? I always say, I've been singing since the doctor said push, which is a line I always stole from my mom. My mom would say that because my mom was a singer too.
Oh, okay, there you go.
But and I have it. It's just a natural thing that I've always had in me. And but anyone who can sing can sing. But there's a big difference between singing and then performing. And I had zero. I had little to zero experience in actually performing and what it means to be a performer and how to present yourself on stage and what to do with the mic and your body and how to emote and how to make a connection with an audience. I knew nothing about that before I, stepped foot on American Idol. So that I really had to learn and work hard at, and I believe in myself too.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that I had the people around me to help me through that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you've had a hit with a song, right?
I did, yeah. Well, so I got lucky enough to make it towards the end of the show, end of the season, and again, my only goal was to use that exposure, that hot iron, so to speak, to establish a career and keep this thing going. So, I knew very early on that was my goal, and I set incremental goals along the way, with goals within the goals while I was on the show.
Yeah.
And once I realized I was kind of making it towards the end, I started putting some ducks in a row and looking for a manager and started writing songs, and I ended up getting so after the show ends, we went on a subsequent nationwide arena tour. They took the top 10 of us on a nationwide tour, and we played 63 shows, I think, one summer, summer of 2006.
Okay.
And then, while we were on the road on that tour, the American Idol's live tour, I was setting my future up. I had hired a manager. I had some songs I had written, and then once we got home off of that tour, I just went to hit the ground running and went to work in the studio, recording music and writing music. And so I ended up starting off professionally in that world, getting a publishing deal with Sony ATV, and then I used the advance for that publishing deal to start my own label. I did it all independently. My manager and I, we did like a 50-50 deal with the label that Sony ATV owned years ago.
Okay.
That was defunct at the time. We resurrected it, and we made myself the imprint artist on the label.
Okay.
We did a very unique thing that way, business-wise. But I got signed off of a song that I wrote called "Moving On," which ended up making my first album, and it was my first digital single.
Yeah.
And then I released my first official single called "Wait for You," and just when I thought every door imaginable had opened for me, which it had, that song just blew up. And it was just on every radio station in the country, and then started making its way across many ponds in the world.
How cool was that, right?
It was incredible. It was incredible. I mean, you go anywhere. I always joke, this big mouth used to get me in trouble when I was a kid, and now it's giving me a career,
Yeah,
so
which is great.
So anywhere I went, people knew my music and my songs and my voice, and knew who I was from TV, and then knew who I was from Wait for You, and so it was an incredible time,
Okay.
And so the song did really well. It went platinum here and in Japan, and it was sort of the tail end of the industry when people were still buying records.
Yeah.
Buying music, so it's a great time. And,
So we can see you, hear you with
Yes.
Special EFX All-Stars.
Yeah.
And where else can we find you? What else can we do?
Well, I've become the lead singer of the Loud Tizer band, and so A lot of band members in Lau's band,
It's a crossover here, yeah.
including Lau, play with,
Yeah.
with Kelly and
Yeah.
Special Effects as well. And so yeah, that's how we all met. We all met in Jakarta because Lau was there playing with Kelly,
Yeah.
and I was there with my own band playing my own
Yeah,
my
sure,
own show.
right.
And we all just hit it off one day in the mess hall like during lunch, and yeah. So fast forward to a couple years ago, Lau asked if I would be interested in joining his band, becoming the lead singer, and he and I we've been friends for years. Also,
Okay.
we've also been neighbors for years.
Oh, no, that's interesting. Yeah.
Which is it's funny. It's funny in itself. It's kind of a small world that way, but
It is, huh?
but yeah. So you can find me. When I'm not playing with Effects, I'm touring a lot with Lau.
Okay.
Lau Tizer Band.
You're on social media then as well, right?
Yeah, I'm everywhere. I'm all over the
Right.
interweb machines.
So we can find you.
Yeah, you can find me pretty easily.
Okay.
And yeah, Lau keeps us pretty busy.
Yeah.
He works really hard.
Yeah.
He kind of wears all the hats
Yeah.
for the band, and we tour a lot.
So you perform with Special EFX All-Stars. Are you doing anything else here at Berks this time around? Are you doing anything with the Late Night Jam?
Yes, we'll be at the
Okay.
Late Night Jam
Yes,
again tonight,
Okay,
and then
good.
it's back to the real world, back home tomorrow.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll be out on the road. I think a few weeks later.
Okay.
I can't think off the top of my head
Yeah,
right
but
now.
you'll be out there.
We'll be out there. Yeah,
Okay.
we get around.
All right, well, we can find you. Thank you so much for taking time.
Thank you for taking the time
Yeah,
to meet.
and thank you for
having
giving us a little bit of the backstory and what you're up to. And
Sure, yeah.
very cool.
Also, I dig your radio voice. Yeah, I see that's where you cut your
Teeth, as we say, yeah, cut the teeth. Thank you, and
Yeah.
thanks for joining today.
My pleasure, my treasure.
Berks Jazz Fest.